What is up, guys? How's it going? I'm Jack. Today I'm joined by Axel and Goldking and Renekai. Renekai it's the first time he's been here, but don't hold it against him. He's still a badass. He's a busy motherfucker. He's been busy saving lives and boinking wives. So, how is everyone doing today? What's everyone been doing this week? Anything awesome? Adventure? Axel, did you go on any adventures this week?
I had exams.
Yeah. And then you resisted the police?
And then I relaxed with you by playing GTA and doing random shit.
Yeah, that's always a good time. What about you, Gunny? Did you go on any adventures this week?
Adventures, let's see. What would we classify as an adventure?
Okay, did you have any parties this week?
No.
Aw.
Did you kill any orphans this week?
No, that's a party.
Wait, kill me what?
It's not always a party.
No, if you kill
You
an
do it with
orphan,
friends.
it is always a party.
Only if you do it with friends.
It's also
by
a
yourself.
civic duty.
Exactly.
It is your civic duty to kill all the homeless people. They're eating all of our food.
So you didn't do anything awesome? Hang out with anyone other than the voices in your head? Come on, man! I want the details.
He did things with himself,
That was
right?
the thing that happened.
Hmm.
I will say that doesn't normally happen, so it's good. I actually did the sleep,
Huh.
so I can feel like I am thinking actually now for a limited time until those voices start coming back and start saying things like, "You should totally go over to that person and tell them about your rock collection." I'm like, I don't even have a rock collection. And I'd be like, "Yeah, we know."
Never too late to start one.
It's never too late to have an imaginary pet rock.
I have a pet kidney
Imaginary
stone.
pet rock. That takes the power of a pet rock and just multiplies it dramatically.
It just you might as well just paint a sad mind face on the front of that rock.
A sad mind face. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So, Ren, any adventures in Renland?
Well, in class, we made a dick in Maya to
Nice.
fuck with our teacher. That's about it.
Oh,
You made a politician.
Excuse me?
You made a politician.
Well, I mean, you could say that, yes, but I am talking about the most
Wrong
phallic of
wrong
endeavors.
definition of dick. I see. Sorry.
well, in case you guys didn't know, Renekai is the voice of the Crab from Jack and the Crab on the YouTube channel, and there's more to that coming. I need to write it. I've been backlogged with quote-unquote shit to do, so it's been a little difficult. But yeah, I was trying to think of somebody who would be good as a crab, who would get killed and then do killing.
And who better than the guy with crabs?
Who?
I'll pinch your ass, Gold.
I beat you.
I pinch.
Part 2 is going to be amazing. So I wanted to get back over the news stories from Monday and start some dialogue about it. I missed press start last week because I was doing some testing to see what people thought. Nobody liked it. Everybody thought it needed to come back, so it is back to Fridays before all the Friday gaming. Are you guys fans of Hideo Kojima? Are you Metal Gear Solid people?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I've never played it, but I definitely think I should.
Do
You should. You should.
Though, if you can get 5 without... if you can get 5 for a reduced price or free through illegal means, I'd say do it. Because I don't fully support paying Konami after it
No,
being
after what they did, no, fuck them.
What did they
I
do?
mean, I bought the game before they booted him, so
They made a
What did
really
they
made a really
do?
big deal about Kojima being the director and producer and writer for Metal Gear Solid 5. They wined him and dined him and had him make this huge epic story for their new console. And as soon as the game was released, I think it was, God, it couldn't have been more than a couple months after the game came out. They basically told Mr. Kojima to go fuck himself. They left him out in the cold and then told him that because of a contractual obligation with the company, he has a non-compete that was still viable until the beginning of 2016. So he was out of work for almost 8 months.
yeah. And what, didn't Sony just pick him up recently to work on new titles with?
Oh yeah, and there was a press conference about Kojima working with Sony and the smile on Kojima's face. Now he's a Japanese man, and I don't know if you know much about the Japanese culture, but you know, older Japanese gentlemen are very, very proper, and in that culture you have to be professional when you're being professional. And like the shit-eating grin on his face, and it was so happy to see him finally get the praise that he deserves. And I don't know, being snatched up from Sony immediately after that non-compete ended, if that were me, I would take that as a sign that I am a fucking badass.
He's got talent.
He does indeed. The story that I wanted to cover is him talking to Cliff Bleszinski, Mr. Gears of War, about helping him with the new Silent Hill, and Cliff Bleszinski saying, "Nah, I'd have fucked that up."
He basically told him, like, he's like, I don't like LA. I think that was the city. And yeah, he's like, I just do so much bad shit to Silent Hills.
Oh yeah. So he loves Silent Hill, and he loves the intellectual property of Silent Hill, and he's a big fan of Kojima, but he said no because he didn't want to fuck up the game. Come on, man, that's humble right there. Guy makes some world record setting first person shooter on a Microsoft console, and then turns down the opportunity to work on Silent Hill. Like, come the fuck on.
I mean, it's good because it's good that he recognizes that he might ruin the franchise and doesn't want to do that. A lot of game designers would not do that. They would just say, "Well, it's money. Sure, let's go. Let's go for gold."
As long as the check clears.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they wouldn't even just say it's just money because it's Silent Hill. It's a fairly popular series, so having your name on that as well would be something like, yes, let's do it!
Well, yeah,
Silent Hill is an awesome series,
having
though.
Silent Hill on your resume.
It's my favorite horror.
Oh yeah, mine too. The original Silent Hill is the only game to memory that has ever given me nightmares.
Nice.
But to have that game on your resume at all, and then, you know, on your resume subnote, you're like, was asked specifically by Hideo Kojima to help with Silent Hill. Like that's good. You could fucking work at any company you wanted to, unless Kojima got arrested for sucker punching children or some crap. An association with him couldn't lead to anything but good things.
Speaking of not good things, remember that Silent Hill movie?
There's two of them.
Okay.
There's two.
Granted, the first one,
and there's Silent Hills
the first one
Revelation.
was different than the games, but I didn't hate the first Silent Hill movie. I didn't love it either. It was kind of 50-50 for me. I liked
the first one with the mother who goes into Silent Hill.
Yeah,
The second one is the father.
That's the one.
Yeah.
You know of what I speak.
Of course I do. I love those movies.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm sorry.
Power.
That voice just it hit it.
So
what?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what Renekek said.
I said, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. What am I gonna do with this day-old meat? Stew it.
stop.
I like how they've put Norman Reedus' face on the character.
Oh yeah, and Norman Reedus, apparently Kojima reached out to him again and said, hey, I'm working on this new project. Are you interested? And apparently within like 5 or 10 minutes, Reedus responded like, hell yeah, dude, where do you want me?
Or is it Silent Hill? We already went over this.
No idea. All I know is that Reedus is going to be working with Kojima on a new IP or the same IP. I have no idea. It's a project that Kojima is working on that Reedus is a part of, and I'm completely okay with this. Hey, Gunny, you're probably going to slap the crap out of me, but I did not watch Boondock Saints front to back until last month.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I haven't seen it either.
What the hell, man?
Hey, when I was going, there's this one guy's house I used to go to quite consistently in order to get drunk and high, and he would watch that movie on loop. But most of the time, I was baked out of my skull most of the time, so it was difficult to. I remember bits and pieces that are out of order, and now that I've seen it front to back, I'm like, oh, that's the order of those scenes, right? Yeah, I've seen the whole movie, just not completely. Okay, next. Firewatch. Developer offers classy response to a Steam refund request. Did you guys hear about this?
Oh, yeah, I heard about
Yes.
that, and the ending is honestly, I liked how it turned out in the end. It just felt like it was the right thing to have happened, you know?
Oh, what you mean at the end of Firewatch?
Oh, no, with the whole...
Oh, yeah. At the end of the post, the guy's like, okay, sorry about... Yeah, I'm not gonna... The guy was... He started a Steam discussion about wanting or, questioning a refund for Firewatch because it was a short game. And then one of the developers responded with, hey, it took this long to... It took this long to develop the game with this many people and, people away from their families and their kids and their wives. And...
it was just really heartfelt how the developer replied, and granted, the guy who put the forum up did want a refund, but he said he really enjoyed the game, and that's why he was so conflicted.
And it is a good game.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good game. It's got beautiful graphics. I watched both Markiplier and Jack play through it.
Yeah, other Jack. Totally okay with that. No, I watched Markiplier play through it, and I intend to pick it up myself. It's the same with watching other Jack play the Beginner's Guide. And I watched him play maybe 30 or 45 minutes of it, and then I stopped and went and got it myself.
The Beginner's Guide was a trip on the feelings for me. Holy
yeah.
shit.
Me too.
And yeah.
There was one scene, and I know we're completely off topic here, but the scene when you're in the tower, the prison spire, and
the tower.
The narrator is talking about how he felt like he failed his friend, and he was wondering if
he just loses it, and then you get into the rooms that were specifically directed towards the narrator, and you just
See, I'm still trying to tell if this was actually an entire somewhat legitimate setup, or if that narrator, if that whole entire deal was him trying to actually reach out.
No,
Or that was actually a story in and of itself.
His friend's name was Robin, and after the release of his game, he started. He from what he was describing to a college class that he was giving a lecture to about game design, he didn't talk about game design at all. He talked about the mentality and the emotions behind game design. Like putting yourself into something so much that it destroys you as a human being. And he turned into a terrible, terrible human being. And he explaining to these college kids how he lost his best friend because he was an asshole. And he didn't get into a lot of details, but he explained the conversation between he and his friend, and he said that his friend Robin told him, in quotes, that when I am around you, I'm physically ill. And reading that inside the Beginner's Guide, my jaw dropped. Because I'd heard him tell the story on another platform, So having a visual representation of it in front of me was just, it hurt, like physically hurt.
It really did.
So we've all been there, but no, Firewatch is a good game. I think the developers handled the response to that gentleman's questioning a refund really well. If you guys haven't checked out Firewatch, do so. Even if you watch it on YouTube or whatever, buy it and play it. It's a good story. It's an amazing story.
Well, I do think it's a bit ludicrous him asking in the first place. I mean, if you enjoyed the material, so what if it's short? It was $18. Get the fuck over it.
Well, you have...
It's a business.
Well, I understand that, but you have, say, you spend $20 on something, and you really like it. However, there's... yeah, I can see that. I mean, I can see where you're coming from on that. I can also see where he's coming from on that.
You're walking different sides of the two-way street, buddy.
Yep.
It was, I want to say, someone said 5 hours of content, but I've seen people casually play through it and get through it in even less time. So it is like short play time, but it is. I want to say that when I was looking through the game, I was like, it's not a lot of play time, but it is high quality gameplay. You know, it's got a somewhat interesting story. It definitely gets you somewhat immersed. You know, a lot of people are mad at the ending, but as Markiplier put it, it's a game about people being human.
Yep.
So and that was like probably the best view I've seen of the ending and everything so far. And it was just, yeah, it's just a quality game. So yeah, it may be short, but if you just look at the design alone.
The graphics aren't the best. They're really pretty, but they're not like, you know, hardcore Unreal, new Unreal Engine, shiny snow physics, whatever. Nothing like that.
No,
it is a very story-driven game that digs into the human condition, and it's not.
Story is really good. That's the thing.
It is, and that's it. Just for the story alone, it's worth $20. So, are you guys fans of the Walking Dead game?
No.
Telltale, Walking Dead. You're not big on
I
it?
like Telltale games, but I just never.
I like the TV series, and I haven't played any of the games yet, but I have full played the first two seasons, and I think it's awesome.
I purchased the entire first season of The Walking Dead from Telltale, and most of if not all, the second season.
Okay.
But I don't think I ever got to the end of the second season for some reason.
Well, Michonne from the TV series is getting
Michonne coming in.
What's up?
I said I'm so excited for seeing Michonne coming in.
Oh yeah, just being given her own spin-off story. It's her origin story. It's how she became who she was.
Yeah.
And that's something I really would have liked to see more of in the show. I know they dove into it a little bit with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friend and her child, and I'm not gonna spoil anything other than that if you haven't seen up to the most recent season, but it turns her from a sword-wielding badass into a damaged human being.
Yeah.
And she is my favorite character in the show, and I think I'm...
Yes. Yeah.
I think I'm probably more excited for this spin-off version Walking Dead than I was for the announcement of Season 2.
To be completely fair, they do kind of sort of paint that, and I feel like they do this with all the characters at least just a little bit, but they do sort of paint that, you know, human aspect of her in the TV series as well. Probably not as well as the game, though, because Telltale knows what they're doing.
Well, no, I mean the game is coming in before, but is coming in from before the series. So the TV series, you're seeing her. She's already gone through whatever it is that makes her this person, and her character in the TV series is very silent and reserved, and she holds her cards to her chest. You don't see all of the character.
No, I know, but there's also been like stuff with flashbacks.
In this, they've got the opening. Yeah, well, in this they've got the opening to explore the background and make her initially vulnerable and add more material to the character itself, which is absolutely fantastic.
They'll have that initial content, I know, and that's going to be something that's going to be pretty great. But the show has definitely showed some stuff. Definitely
Yeah,
explained
it's some
like
stuff.
those two zombies
Yeah.
she has walking around when she's first introduced in the TV series on chains. There's all that stuff, and of course, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but definitely, yeah. It's gonna be some nice extra content, especially for people who love the series, love the show, love what Telltale has done with it. It's The Walking Dead is the comic book, the TV show. There's very few mediums of The Walking Dead that have been done badly. I want to say that there was one
Survival
AMC.
Instinct. Survival Instinct is the game that was not very good.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what? The TV show, they don't really have a lot of time to go into a lot of backstory about every character, or the show would be 2 hours long each episode. And giving a beloved character the opportunity to have a backstory like this is, I don't know, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's going to be received well, too.
Didn't Overkill announce they were working on a Walking Dead game?
Yes. Overkill announced that they were working on basically a Walking Dead survival game. And
Cooperative, like Payday
Yes.
2 was, if I
Yep.
recall.
Nice.
And those are the same guys that did Payday 2. So they're not going to make a bad shooter. They can't. I don't think they know how.
I hope they put in some aspects of like character creation, because The Walking Dead has always been more than just zombies. It's always been more about the struggle and human interactions and all that.
Well,
So I'm
the
definitely
zombies
open to that.
themselves are. Squeak doesn't like bloody, gory stuff. And before we started binge watching The Walking Dead, which we did, and she loved it, I told her that the zombies are essentially another character. All of them are a single character. They are a force of nature. It's like the Twister in Twister, or the super freezing storm in The Day After Tomorrow, or the fucking dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. They are a functioning character in this story. And The Walking Dead did it really well, and I think Overkill's going to handle that really well too.
Yeah. Another thing I think that can be said is with the game series of Walking Dead, it was difficult to get behind any of the characters to sort of say, "Oh, I like this character." I mean, they in the first one they painted the protagonist as with a glowing paintbrush, so to speak, and then what happens, and then you play as Clementine, but the other characters you don't really get excited about. They were a little bit tedious, and then you're gonna be playing with Michonne, and that's gonna be like a few steps up from that, I think. So
Well, if by the end of the Michonne Walking Dead spinoff you are flipping out like a ninja and cutting heads off, I will be pleased. I don't care how they explain the story of her before that. I mean, I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be heart-wrenching and what have you, and good storytelling. But I want to see her be who she was when she appeared on the show at the end of the game. I want
Yeah.
to I don't want there to be any mistake about this being the same character.
So you want to
I
have a
want to see-
Metal
I
Gear
want to see it
Rising
end
during episode
with-
5.
yeah, I want to
let's
see
do
it.
that.
I want to see it end with her collecting those two zombies on chains, like right before this.
Oh,
the
yup.
the thing of the TV episode.
So the last article, and this is something that I posted in Press Start, and something that I was kind of adamant about covering. One of my subscribers on YouTube brought this to my attention. Actually, commented it on one of the podcasts in January, and I've been backlogged on things I needed to do, so I apologize, Germinate, and I do appreciate you bringing this to my attention. This is one of those conversation topics that I think is really good to have in a group of people that come from different backgrounds. Let me just read you what the intro to this video says. To whom it may concern, my friend played this game, and a news team has shamed him to the point that he has not or could not read or receive my emails and has quit gaming and YouTube. I don't post on here much, but I would really like it if you could share some support for my friend and enter the discussion on how the word on this topic can be hashtag it's just a game. Please, I kindly ask you to keep this post for support. As gamers, we are responsible to not let media fuck up our games. And what this is about is a game called, I think it's called Outback Survival 2 or hold on a second.
Yes.
What is this called? Well, I'm going to go look at the YouTube video itself because there's hold on just a moment here. What's the name of the game? Survival Island 3. And this is the video that, and let me give you a little bit of backstory here. The game was up on the iTunes store. It is a survival game in the same vein as Ark or Rust or Minecraft or whatever, right? It's a fucking survival game, okay? And the game was up for a while, and a couple of YouTubers played the game, posted videos to YouTube, and a petition was started to remove the game from iTunes. As soon as that happened, YouTube removed the gamer's content from YouTube. So videos were removed, the game was removed from iTunes, all because it offended somebody in fucking Australia. So here is and there are a whole bunch of comments about how this is bullshit. But here's the video about what they were bitching about. Here is what they had a problem with. And the kicker here is they did not get the YouTube content creator's permission to use his video for their news broadcast. So just a moment here. We're gonna step by step this video. Here's the video in its entirety. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I'm ready for you. Got him. What do we get?
So that was the video, and the description for the video is probably what pisses me off the most. TBCA, and let me get into this. I didn't think that Australia produced pussies. Now that I've let that out, one of the few people I chose as family goes by Boo. He's an Australian with a direct approach to handling people who get offended over games or music or movies. His response is usually grow a pair, followed by cursing at me for being bothered by something somebody said. At first, it seemed like a dick thing to say or do. The years went by, and the more I realized the stuff he was saying was true. What does being offended do to you? Nothing. Short version, whatever I say here isn't going to give you the HIV, and you're not going to be butt-fucked by some big white guy in prison named Bundy and his tag team partner Axel. Nothing I say or do is going to change your world at all. Nothing. Not a single fucking thing changes but your memory. A false one, at that. You think I'm offensive for the sake of being offensive. I am offensive for the sake of showing you how pointless you taking offense to what I say or do really is. I enjoy trolling more than most, sure, but in the classic sense, trolling was just a way of pissing somebody off about something they have no business being pissed off about. Now, if I made a joke about owning slaves, that would be writing a line that's a bit too far for me personally. What do I mean? Well, the race war in the United States, right? White people using the N-word, Black Lives Matter. It's a big deal here in the States, so that's a thing. I'm going to read and comment on the description of this YouTube video that this news broadcasting agency put out. Keep in mind, this video was used by the news outlet to show off the bad thing they were talking about, and more to the point, twist what they were showing to make their point. So first I'll show you the video, which I already did, then we'll read and cover together. It'll be like reading Rainbow, but instead of books, we're talking about stupid people. LeVar Burton's still going to be the host. I'm just standing here until he gets back from being awesome. Oh, it was his birthday yesterday. He was 59 years old yesterday, LeVar Burton. So happy birthday to you, good sir. So, the description of this video. A petition was launched to ban a game app that involves a player beating to death an Aborigine in a quest to survive the Australian outback. That is quote 1. Do you mean to tell me that somebody who is trying to survive in the Australian outback with no line of communication to anybody for years wouldn't find it necessary to kill an Aboriginal tribesman? The game involves survival, which means doing things that border on dark, like killing another living, breathing thing. And what about the kangaroo? Why didn't you throw a fit about needing to kill it? It wasn't a person, Jack! Does it really fucking matter? You don't complain about the list of violent shooters that are released in your country because they have nothing to do with you? Killing is okay as long as it isn't a dark-skinned Australian native, right? Kill or be killed is only okay when it doesn't make you look at yourself. Look, if you find the content doesn't agree with your refined palate, then don't fucking play it. It's that simple. Petitioning for the removal of a game and creating an environment where harassing YouTube content creators for posting a video is okay is taking it too far. You wouldn't understand. You're a damn Yank. First, go play with yourself. I'm Alaskan, which is more Canadian than American. Secondly, 80% of Alaskans' populations are Alaskan natives. Tons of different tribes. Us crackers, we crackers, make up about 5% of the population while I was there. You are a news outlet. You get the numbers on exactly population, whatever. I'm just a fucking guy on the internet who thinks you're whining like a child who doesn't want to eat his vegetables. Ooh, let's make an Australian joke. Okay, let me rewrite this. They're whining like a child who doesn't want to eat his Vegemite. Go me. I'm so damn funny. If you want to report on gaming, report on all of it. Report on gaming conventions where people who have social anxiety like myself were able to stand in a room with thousands of people and be just fine. Where a 300-pound girl can dress up like Sailor Moon and have people take pictures of her because of it. Because she's dressed up as Sailor Moon, not because she's 300 pounds. Why not stop production of companies and devs from stealing our money every year by releasing the same game with slightly shinier guns every year at the same price as the one before it? Or more if you want the special edition with the fucking night vision goggles. I'm talking to you, Call of Duty. Can you petition your government to put a gaming console or PC in every orphanage? Can you report on how gaming is scientifically proven to improve hand-eye coordination, spatial reasoning and logic, simple mechanical engineering in some games, and basic architecture with others, physics, thermal and hydrodynamics, electrical engineering, and lastly, how to think with portals? The next section of the description, Survival Island 3, Australia Story 3D, was released last month and cost $4.49 in the Apple iTunes Store. Your goal is to survive, beware the angry animals, especially if you don't have any weapons. At night, they're really dangerous. Try to hide somewhere, hunt animals to grow plants. You have to eat something. You also have to fight the Aborigines. You invade their home. You invaded their home. The developer, Christina Fedenkova. I'm terrible with names that aren't American, I'm sorry. The official trailer for the game focused on hunting for food, farming, and gathering resources. Let's follow this train of thought for a moment. It might be hard, but let's not spin this. The whole thing is a script, and I'll post it in the description of the YouTube highlight if you guys feel like misquoting me. Also, I advise you against chopping up segments to put a spin on them yourself. You can't defame me more than I do it to myself. You can't hurt my reputation more than all the dick jokes I make. And anything you do will be helping me, so enjoy the beating I'm giving you for free. This train starts at Alternate Universe Station, in the country of It's a Fucking Video Game. That's right here in the United States, actually, where a game that focuses solely on killing people in the Middle East is a thing. So we depart the station and travel down the tracks. In this world, obviously, the Outback isn't tame. I mean, it isn't now, but it's less so here, I can tell, mainly because of the way things look. So in alternate Australia, let me ask you historically what happened when you guys arrived for the first time. Were you welcome with open arms? Shit, you weren't. American natives tried to kill us. And we make games about it. Actually, a bunch of them. For like a whole 10-year period, it was a thing. You can't tell me that your people didn't have to kill any of them. You can't. What you can tell me is, yes, mate, in our history, we've likely killed thousands of them. Did you notice that it was a fight? It wasn't a massacre. He didn't bomb them or set them on fire like I do with hookers in GTA. No, it was a fight with an axe against a dude with a fucking spear. He had a fucking spear. He should have thrown it. And if a player died, would you have lost your shit? No. Petition Minecraft because witches are being killed. Please, I want to count the amount of people laughing at you. The next part of the description of the video says, a video walkthrough of the game was recently uploaded to YouTube before being taken down, which shows a player, quote-unquote, searching for the natives before beating an Aboriginal man to death with a stone axe. My response to this is that the man attacked him first. Let's look at this video one more time. The Aboriginal gentleman, the sir, did damage to him before he did damage to the guy in the fucking game. See? His health, right. Bro attacked him first. We're not even gonna fucking get into that. After the man engages him first, did you know that in a game you have the ability, in this game you have the ability to join the Aboriginals? You can join them. You can either work with them or you can work against them. But you didn't know that. I guess that must have slipped through your fact checking. Yeah, it turns out you don't have to fight them at all. The user R2 Darksaber then loots the body for quest items. Holy crap. They were weapons. I kill enemies in Diablo and get fucking weapons. I kill enough people in any modern shooter and I get weapons. Borderlands is all about killing people for their weapons. But there's no petition. A petition at change.org to remove the game from iTunes App Store at the time the video was posted had 11,000 signatures. At the time that I did research for what I was writing here, it is at about 42,000 by my most recent count, which is fucking insane. You guys put a spin or a twist on what you saw in this video, and now the person who is making the game can no longer do it because you didn't talk to her, did you? Did you have her on air? Did you ask her about it? Or did you rail on her on air without giving her the chance to respond? Did you berate the game and its content without understanding either? Of course you didn't talk to her, because heaven forbid, people kill each other. And let's not get into getting loot from doing it. If you had her on air, you wouldn't have a story, would you? By shooting dangerous Aboriginals, the app makes us inhuman. It reinforces racial violence, lack of punishment for white people taking black lives. It makes fun and sport the massacre and frontier violence. Petition organizer Georgia Mantler writes, if somebody attacks me, they're dangerous and I will end them. I don't care if they're white, black, red, purple, or that off shade of green that makes me want to vomit. If you attack me in a game or real life, I will try my best to stop you from continuing to breathe. Apple states in the terms of service that it will reject apps for any content or behavior that we believe to be crossing the line. The issue with this is, who decides what's over the line? Who is responsible for protecting people? Axel, who's responsible for protecting gaming users?
And Axel is dead.
And Axel is dead. Okay, Goldking.
No, I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Who is responsible for protecting gamers?
Okay, look, no one is specifically responsible for protecting gamers. However, although I can understand your point, and I agree with you that they shouldn't have twisted it out and specifically called out this person, because the person in the video is just playing the app. It's not like the person in the video made it.
Mm-hmm.
And calling someone who just played it out, let alone, I think the kid's 14 years old.
I believe so.
Doing that was ridiculous, because, even if it was a 20-year-old, they just played the content. If you have a problem with the content, you go to the creator, not someone who's playing it. Someone who's playing it is essentially taking the role of the messenger. And don't shoot the messenger. When it comes to offense, there's not really much you can say on it. It depends, in my opinion, on the opinion of those who are the target of that offense. So for this, I would like to know what people of Aboriginal descent have to say. I don't really care what any white person has to say on it because they're not going to be offended by it naturally, because they're not the target, of the supposed offense. So I would like to know, firstly, before I make an ultimate judgment as to whether or not this is racist, what a group of people who are of Aboriginal descent have to say about this. Are they okay with it? Because, as you, Jack, rightly put, firstly, it's a survival-based game. These characters are attacking you, and secondly, it will be a part of their history. Although, more Aboriginals were massacred than the reverse by far. That doesn't change the fact that Aboriginals did kill the Europeans who tried to settle there. But still, yeah, before I'd make a judgment on this, I'd want to see what the target of the racial insult have to say about it.
The point that I'm trying to make is that the gamers and the people are responsible for protecting themselves. The people are responsible for filtering, censoring, and monitoring what content they take in. So you also mean to tell me that if I don't want to see something, I just don't have to look at it? Oh my god, all these years spent looking at cat pictures, and I could have just stopped without petitioning lolcats to take down their site? I'm fucking speechless. I'm offended by what you said, so don't say it, is close to fucking with free will and my ability to say whatever the fuck I want whenever the fuck I want to say it. I mean, I don't want the NSA at my door, so I choose my words carefully, but the point remains. Did you ask the YouTube content creator's permission to use his video? No? Then you're dealing with a whole other set of problems, aren't you? It's okay to be on YouTube as long as it's you using it to spin whatever bullshit story you feel like spreading at the time. You are just like American and Russian media. Put facts and figures through filters and give it to people from your own perspective instead of letting them choose for themselves. Giving a biased opinion instead of just laying the facts on the table and being like, so, this is a thing. Both Apple and the developer have yet to comment. Apple is pretty well known for not getting involved in garbage like this. They don't agree, but they have to listen to their customers. I mean, they'd have to or they'd sink, right? Did you give an honest effort to reach out to the developer? Yes, mate, we sure did. Really? Because I can't find a website or an email address for Nil Entertainment, the company responsible for the game. I did, however, find 3 Facebook pages, 2 Twitter accounts, and a Google Plus account of places with the same name getting raged on by people who bought into your bullshit. I know you're not the only news network that covered this, I get that, but you didn't help. Instead, you got this poor YouTuber some death threats and hate mail over playing it? Right, because that's a mature response to something you don't like. Attention! Spinach is offensive! Everybody, I hate spinach, sign this petition! And then it works, and anybody who eats spinach gets kicked in the taint till they shit themselves. You see how wacky that sounds? Now, let me put a spin on a news story and see if you understand this. News media outlet 9 News responsible for teen suicide. YouTube content creator whose name won't be mentioned to protect the identity of his family was found dead in his bedroom late last night with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. R2 Darksaber posted a video of himself playing a game on his Apple device, now removed from the iTunes store. This game received disapproval for its inaccurate survival situations and depiction of the Australian native Aboriginals. After posting this video to his YouTube account, it was then used by 9 News to report regarding racism in and offensive video games. The game was then removed from iTunes, Darksaber's video removed from YouTube, and from then, lasting for 3 months, this young teen was harassed via email and social media, as well as a few managing to acquire his home telephone number, calling him at odd hours of the late evening and early morning, threatening his life and the life of his parents. Afraid that something would happen to his mother, he wrote a note explaining that his actions were to protect her. stole his father's .45 caliber handgun from his parents' bedroom, and ended his own life. He is survived by his parents and his infant sister, Emily. There. Feel like shit now, don't you? If you want to report on gaming, do it properly, or don't fucking do it at all. If you want to be offended by a game, go look up a game called Jihad, or some random KKK game. There's one where you get points for shooting black people. That's it. Shotgun, kill black dudes. It exists, I'm serious. You pick up what equates to Australian first-person Farmville and lose your shit because it depicts people differently than real life. That's every video game, every movie and TV show, and even most news media outlets. I also want to give a shout out to Germinate on YouTube community for bringing this to my attention. Tell your bro R2 that if he wants to play a game that will piss off his grandma, that he should play it with me, because I dare those motherfuckers to say something to me. The only way I am taking a video down is if I accidentally leave in a part where I have to kill a hooker before cutting her into small pieces and firing her out of a cannon, hooker chunk confetti.
You wouldn't leave that out.
Now available at Party City.
The best place to be.
Talk such shit. You would never leave that out. There is no instance where you would leave that out.
You're right. There's no instance where I would ever leave that out. The point I'm trying to make here is that there are so many worse things. So much terrible content out there. So hatred is probably the best example of pointless murder I've ever seen in a video game to date. And banned in Australia, you allow Left 4 Dead, zombies have rights, hashtag zombie lives matter. You allow Minecraft in there, hashtag creeper lives matter. I don't understand why the news media feels that it's their responsibility to do what humans are supposed to be doing themselves. Does the news need to tell me not to drink fucking Drano? No, I'm going to read the label and say, fucking, it's Drano. It'll kill me if I drink it. Okay, if I'm going to make an informed decision about a video game, I'm going to look up YouTube videos. Oh, well, this one involves something that I find that doesn't really mesh well with my belief structure. I'm not going to force my ideas down somebody's throat. Is news media becoming the new Christianity? I'm seriously asking.
Yes.
Well,
Yes. No. Yes.
possibly.
Yes.
Hashtag New World Order.
It became the new Christianity decades ago.
Yeah. I don't know.
This isn't new, Jack. Twisting a story for your own is not new by medial standards.
Well, I understand that, but it pisses me off when it's done against gamers and gaming. This is what I do. This is my thing, and it's being pissed on by people who obviously don't fucking understand the medium.
Well, like they say, history is written by the victor.
And what about comedians? What about people that get up on stage and make black jokes, or slavery jokes, or racist jokes? Are you gonna have a fucking problem there?
Well, they do undergo quite a bit of scrutiny, yes. So
Yeah, but you don't ever see Fox News or 9 News having a picture of a comedian saying, oh, his stand-up routine last night involved telling a joke about a black man. Oh no, everybody fucking boycott him.
It's because companies like Viacom like to keep the paychecks coming in.
Whatever sells, I guess.
There's also that medial gap between video games and all of the forms of media that there's still a whole bunch of shit there that I could talk for hours about.
People are asshats.
People are asshats. And I like I said, I wanted to bring it up because Germinate brought it to my attention, and it fucking bothered me. This kid who wanted to do the YouTube thing he doesn't feel like he can. He feels like it's a hostile work environment now, and completely understandable. With all of the fire YouTube content creators get for fair use and copyright shit. Just to add this to the mix, look, we've got enough fucking problems to deal with without you guys making it worse. We've got enough luggage. Don't put your fucking socks in our bag, okay? I don't want to carry your mouthwash. I don't give a fuck about you or what you say about me. I don't care if you like what I'm playing. I don't care if you like what I say. Here's how this is going to work. If you don't like me, don't fucking be here. If you don't like what I say, put me on mute. If you don't like my face, don't look at the fucking screen. It's that simple. I apologize. I don't want you guys thinking I'm mad at you or anything.
Oh, no,
Oh,
we
no.
understand.
We can do, yeah. You're not mad. You're just disappointed. No, you're mad. But you're not mad.
He's
you're
mad, just not
at us.
Oh, I'm mad as hell, but not you guys. This is the third time I have had to deal with this kind of bullshit in the last 30 years. I mean, I guess it probably could have been worse. You know, if I were old enough to deal with or to be around when the Mortal Kombat fiasco was going on with all the blood in the arcades and whatever, I'd probably be pissed about that too. It's a fucking game. You don't see 4-year-olds running around smashing their heads on brick walls trying to get coins out of them, right? It's not...
Yeah.
It's not a realistic viewpoint to expect people to emulate what happens
Right.
in games, because people are generally smart enough to understand the medium separation.
Right, and people are usually intelligent enough to say, okay, well, this is a game. It's not an accurate portrayal of a situation. It's not fucking promoting violence against a race or whatever. It's...
Mr. J,
Huh?
a new member has joined the
Oh,
Wolf Pack.
hey! Zane Wolf. Oh, I got another fucking wolf in the Wolf Pack. Welcome to the coolest fucking crew on the internet. Woohoo! Butt sex. Okay.
Calm down, buddy.
No.
Oh.
You're not my supervisor.
Okay.
But where were they
That's a
flipping shit about the kangaroo? And they're like, oh, you're looting the body for quest items. Well, it was a weapon. It was 2 weapons on the Aboriginal guy. I saw it. It was a spear and a boomerang. Both are weapons. And then when he killed the kangaroo, there was kangaroo meat, which is something you need to survive. Out in the wilderness, you need food and you need weapons. So you're making a big fucking deal out of nothing in order to get ratings and support a petition that's fucking pointless.
The media.
So he wanted to get attention brought to this story and his friend's YouTube account and everything else. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the links and the transcript from my rant under in the description of the video so that you get the chance. I know I speak and I stutter sometimes and I lose my train of thought, so it's ferret meth syndrome. Did I make it? Germinate, you just caught the tail end of it. However, I will post it on the YouTubes at the end of the day today, the highlight from Press Start, so you can see me flip the fuck out on these clowns. But no, you and your boy, you've got my respect. And like I said, if R2 feels like playing a game that's going to upset his grandmother, have him come play it with me, because I dare those motherfuckers to say something to me. I dare them. I will. I have no problem boxing with news media. I am completely okay with dropping F-bombs on a news anchor. I don't care. I don't. Watch me get bad press in Australia for telling a news anchor to go fuck himself. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Being on Australian nightly news. Go fuck yourself!
Do us a
Yeah,
favor,
fuck
say it
yourself.
in an Australian accent. Just make it that little bit more offensive. Oh, go fuck yourself!
Oi, go fuck yourself! Oh my god. No,
Australia.
and no, I completely agree with you, Germinate, and I don't agree with what happened to your boy, and I don't agree with what the news media did to your boy or the game or the developer of the game. And there's a 5-page rant that I just read off, but I will upload that shit to the YouTube, and you'll be able to check it out there. Of course, this thing's been going on for a damn hour, and I told Ren here that we'd be playing the fucking Division 30 minutes ago. So I will be right back after this short break. I am joined by Axel Williams, the Gold King, myself, and the voices in my head, as well as Renikai. They're all part of the Wolf Pack. If you'd like, click the Discord button below. Join the voice chat. Come and kick it with us. I've got the YouTube information below there as well. And I mean, that's really all I'm gonna shameless plug of my own brand, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I will see you guys in about 5 minutes. Ren and I are going to throw down mighty on the Division with or anyone else that wants to get down with us. It is free. The Division beta is open beta right now. So go and download that bad bitch. Come and kick it with us. It's like a 25 gig download. It'll probably take you 3 hours, but I'll probably still be playing. And I'll be playing this weekend, the Division as well, and streaming it because I missed the last 2 days. Yeah, so I'll be back in like 5 minutes and we're gonna shoot some shit in the face. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Aborigines?
Of course.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, totally.